Very important. All right. So in 1 Kings chapter 19, verse 10 and verse 14 are repeat responses. Now notice just before Elijah speaking in verse 10, the last part of verse 9 is identical to the last part of verse 13 before the words are repeated. I am putting it to you that this was not two responses. The first one gives an overall response, and then we are told what led up to him hearing the voice and being asked the same question and giving the response. So the voice didn't ask him twice, and he gave the response, the same response twice. It was one incident, but we are told the voice said this, he said this, and then we are told what led up to him to the voice saying that and him answering this. So between verse 11, from verse 11 to verse 13 gives us the story behind what led up to 9 and 10. So he came, in essence, what happened is that he came to the cave, was in the cave, right? Then we are told that the Lord said, that is the voice that he heard. But where did the voice come from? We don't know. Did the voice just talk to him? It would appear so. But when we read further down, we realize that that's not the case. The Lord had said to him, go out to the mouth of the cave, and he went out there, and the Lord passed by, and that now is where he heard the wind that broke, the earthquake, the strong wind, the fire, and the Lord wasn't in any of those. And then came the small voice, and we are told that it was that small voice that said to him, what are you doing here? And he responded like this. But we were not given that detail in verse 9. All we are told is that the Lord came to him and said this. But in the other verses, we are being told now the details that this is how it happened. The Lord had told him to go out. He went out. All of these things happened, but the Lord was not in there. And then there was a still small voice. And that now is when the Lord said that to him. What are you doing here, Elijah? And he said this. They have killed all your prophets and they'll seek my life. I am the only one left. And I'm not tired of these people and I want to come home. Right? The gist of it is that. And then we are told now in verse 11, well, that is what happened in verse 11. And that led up to verse 14. And then now we are told, after he had said that, what took place next? The Lord said, all right, go back where you're coming from and anoint these persons. Hazael to be king over Syria, Jehu to be king over Israel, and Elisha to take your place. That's why I said, when I gave you the assignment, read and reread. Practice what we have been looking at and what I've been teaching you. Don't be swayed by what you always read. These sessions should teach you that by now, right? Don't just take at face value what you read in the Bible. If you read the way you have always read, you will come away with the same understanding that you have always had, right? My thing is to teach you how to read the Bible so that you can do it too. You can read, but what that means is that you must apply the principles. So when I'm telling you about how to treat with things that are repeated, when you learn these concepts here, how these two verses work, then let me tell you, when you go in Revelation and you see things, you will identify them as repeats. And you will be able now to have a better understanding of Revelation because it's the same concept throughout the Bible. God doesn't change. So when I'm trying to teach you these things, it is so that you can read anywhere in the Bible, Old or New Testament. It will not make a difference to you. All right. So that will be that for that. Anybody learned anything there? Anybody learned anything about what I just said? From what I just said? Passage any clearer to you? What transpired? Go ahead, Sister Jackie.
I learned it, what you are saying. And that
I
is
see a
very
microphone
helpful.
open, but I'm not hearing anything.
Oh,
Oh, your voice is very low,
oh,
very, very low.
okay. I was saying, yes, we learned based on what you explained us just now, that reading the duplication in scripture, we're not to take it at face value, just to look at, and that is at the end of the scripture. That's why the Lord took him, because he wanted to leave. He was tired of living on this earth to say among these people.
All right, they're called breaking up. So we're not getting everything that you said.
Okay.
We're not
Okay,
getting.
sir.
All right, say it again. Maybe it will come true now.
No, based on what is stated here,
Yes.
in following the duplication in scripture, and it leads to the Lord having gone anoint other persons. We think, in a way, yeah, we have to look at deeper than
Right.
just face it. What we
Right.
have been
So
taught.
yes, I didn't get everything again, but I got enough to to understand that you're saying that from what was just discussed, you have learned that where you see duplication of scripture, that you can't just take it at face value. You have to pay particular attention to it to get the real meaning. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. That's
All
it.
right. Excellent. Excellent. Thanks for that.
Good, good.
All right. Thanks. All right. So we're gonna take that there and move into today's study.